Oh, hi again. Um, I come across a little leaflet today. Here it is, advertising the People's Assembly Against Austerity National Demonstration and Free Festival, which is going to take place on June the 21st this year, 2014. The People's Assembly Against Austerity, it says here, alongside the trades unions and campaigns, is organising a national demonstration and free festival in central London on the 21st of June. And this is what they say they're going to be doing. We'll be demanding an alternative to austerity, increase the minimum wage, invest in building affordable housing, cap rents for private landlords, higher taxes for the richest, clamp down on tax evasion, renationalise our services, including the railways, blah, blah, blah. Basically, back to the past, back to the 1960s. That's basically what they're asking for. And then it says further, this alternative is unheard of in mainstream media or Parliament. So the demonstration is assembling on the BBC's doorstep, then marching to Parliament to demand to hear the views of the majority are no longer ignored. Well, what's all this about? Apart from, as I keep saying, another jamboree, and this is the only thing the unions are left have got. Give it to the Tories, vote Labour. But to me, it's just another pointless demonstration. On June the 21st, will the rich who are attending Royal Ascot, because it's Ascot week, will they be trembling in their Jimmy Choo footwear? No, they will not. I doubt it very much indeed. They're not going to be scared by another vote Labour in 2015 jamboree. And it'll be after the council elections and after the Euro elections, and particularly in the Euro elections, I don't expect Labour to do very well, although by all logic they should. But then again, we have this new kid on the block, or the old age pensioner disguised as the new kid on the block, UKIP. So I don't see Labour doing very well at all in the Euro elections. And if they do well in the council elections, it will be forgotten in the euphoria of UKIP doing very well in the Euro elections. But I can tell you what's not going to happen on this demonstration. There's going to be no looting. There's going to be no barricades. There's going to be no clashing with the police. There's going to be none of Boris's water cannon out on the streets. There's going to be no occupying of buildings, such as the BBC. They're just going to meet outside the BBC and march away from it. Because if they were to attempt to occupy it, that would even be the beginning of a revolutionary process, which we've seen all over the world and which you've seen in Europe. Whether you want to call it revolutionary, whether you want to call it counter-revolutionary, whether you want to call it nationalist, makes no difference. It is movement. But this is just a dead corpse. Anyway, the dead corpse is then, apparently according to this, going to march onto Parliament. Now, considering the demonstration is being held on a Saturday, I think it's a bit pointless because Parliament is in recess on Saturday, so they'll be marching past an empty building to go to wherever it is they're having their free festival, which will probably be in Hyde Park, being the nearest big park. I expect that people will be thoroughly exhausted after all that and just want to go home rather than listen to Billy Bragg or whoever it is will be there. I've seen these things been going on for years and years, and it seems like we're stuck in an unending cycle, just like the unending Hindu cycle of life and death. Only each reincarnation appears to be a lower life form, and this definitely is a lower life form. We will have the left trying to flog their papers which they couldn't even give away, and they'll come away maybe with a few members and feel very good for themselves. But if there is any dissidence, like for example if the Black Bloc turn up, but I don't think that the Black Bloc are going to bother to turn up, why bother to turn up for something like this? We've turned up before, we've made our point, we don't want to do it again. And also they're going to have another one on sometime in October. Are we going to turn up on that? I doubt it very much. So these meaningless gestures just go on and on and on, and it doesn't do them any good anyway, because as we know, Labour are going to lose the 2015 election. And that is the only message they have: vote Labour. So without us there making our contribution, trashing the streets, attacking the rich, smashing up the cars, and generally creating mayhem on the streets. It's just a couple of years ago we did that, but it seems more like a couple of decades ago. So quiet has everything become. I don't really know what to say. But I advise people not to go on it. Well, if you really want to see how boring a thing can be, how useless politics is in England, how that we're so different from the rest of the world, then go on it. But I think you already know it anyway. So why bother to go on it? I'd love to go on it and cause mayhem. I'd love to go on it and witness like BBC building being seized and so on. But it's not going to happen, is it, folks? There's going to be no spontaneity at all. And if there is spontaneity, then the organisers and the left are in hand in glove with the police, and any dissidents will be squashed mercilessly. And I don't mean they'll bring on the water cannon. They'll just nick 100 sort of hooded youth from the estates or something like that, and these kids will be forgotten and vilified on the platform, called provocateurs and so on, where the real provocateurs are the ones on the platform. They're provocateurs because they're getting people to believe in the system. And I suppose the people listening to it want to believe in the system. But we're never going to break out of this unless we do have what I've described: barricades, occupation of buildings, the water cannon out, and that is just the beginning. But until you get to that stage, nothing. So yeah, there is one final thing it says on this leaflet, and that is: transport is being arranged from across the country. Join us. You know what? Have you ever seen that film, The Evil Dead? Join us. Join us. Join us. That's the message that they have. And that's what it is. It's the evil dead. The TUC, the Labour Party, the left, trying to get you to become one of them. Join us. Well, my advice is, don't join us. Don't bother. Don't go. Boycott it. Do something useful. Let's do something useful. Let's get out on the street spontaneously, as we should do, because that's the future, not these dead, sterile things that have been going on for possibly 100 years or more. Do you want to do another 100 years of it? I doubt it. I don't even want to do another 100 days of it, let alone 100 years. So, with that in mind, I'm now signing off. I wish you all a good night, and have fun.